Falls City. And occasionally he would come riding to work or, to sell his stuff, right? He'd be riding his Harley motorcycle at 84. He would be telling us how he, all the skiing he did in the winter. And then he had like a 1/4-acre garden, and he was out in the garden all the time. He was with nature. He loved nature. But you looked at the guy, and he was like about 6'2", and I mean, he looked 84, but I mean, he could get around like somebody who was probably like in their 30s. It was shocking, and everybody would look at him, and they can't figure out how he could do it. And
my boyfriend will be 84 in May. He goes bowling on Monday. On Tuesday, he works all afternoon as a docent for the Flight of Air Museum down by Boeing. On Wednesdays, he gives himself a day off to take care of things. And on Thursday, he does the free healing that I shared about. On Friday, he drives shuttle to get seniors to doctor's offices and grocery stores. And on Saturday, he's back at the museum working almost all day with the whatever planes. He's a walking encyclopedia for the museum. And on Sunday, he's involved in spiritual situations that he goes to. So, and then we used to have a Search for God group at our house on Thursday nights we were involved with, and we'd like to get going again. So this guy's 84 years old, and he's got so many irons in the fire. And most Thursdays we're off going to plays. We have tickets to the Paramount and the Fifth Avenue. We go to the Burien Theater. We go down to Seaside. We go to Ashland. We've got I'm 78 and he's 84, and we've got a social life we can't keep up with. Plus, I have all my counseling, my writing. I got 10 books out now. And all the activities that I'm involved with. I do a lot of volunteer work, too. Just age has nothing to do with it. If you are healthy, you want to be out there contributing to others and volunteering and helping and passing on your good wisdom and knowledge for others to benefit.
I think a lot of it, again, is psychological because, about a year ago, I was pumping gas in my motorcycle. And, like I said, at that time I was 65, and this guy pulls up with his car, to get gas at the little grocery mini mart. And he started talking to me. He goes, I really want a motorcycle, but my wife says I'm too old, and I just feel I'm too old. And I told him how old I was, and I was like 2 years older than him. And I said, well, you know what? If you have the attitude you're too old, you're not going to live very long. And you're not going to enjoy what life you have left. You have to enjoy life. You have to love life. You have to love people. About a month later, I was back at this, because back there getting gas and I think coming out of the mini mart, and somebody called my name, and I didn't recognize the guy. And then he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, how you like my motorcycle?" And I looked at it and he goes, "I listened to what you said." And he goes, "I have never felt so happy in my life."
Well, why don't you do the same thing with your medical? Choose to live as long as you want and enjoy it and do what supports that.
Well, I'm trying. I really am, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's just a good challenge. But anyway, yeah, I really admire you're out there doing those things. I think you've got a lot of good stuff going for you, actually.
Well, I try. The reason why I do the show, one is I'm retired. I used to be in broadcasting when I was young. And then I got out of it. I used to do top 40 for some of the big stations. I also did a talk show, and I also did a show called Love Line where people would call, and I'd match them up with the opposite sex, to go out on a date and see if they can, people that were having a hard time meeting people. I did that for a while, and then I got in a bad marriage, and that was the end of my broadcasting. And I figured since I'm retired, it's two things I love besides my family is, one, I love riding my motorcycle. Two, I love broadcasting. So I decided, I'm just not going to sit and watch TV. I'm going to do a internet broadcast. And actually, I'm being looked at right now at a network to be picked up on 19 radio stations. So, in syndication. So I'm trying to work on that. And, just like you, I'm really happy that you're going to be doing a talk show. I feel, there's a lot of talk shows on the internet, I'll be honest with you. And what you should do, what I did before I decided to do it, I listen to, literally a couple thousand different talk shows. And I listened what was good, what was bad. And I said, well, you know what? I think I can do this. And it's working. And I'm happy. I've been in the past month more happy in my life than I probably have been in the last 30, 40 years.
Well, I had a talk show in 2002, and I loved it every minute. In fact, the manager of the KLAY in Tacoma said that I'd never had a throwaway, and he was surprised, because he says everybody has a bum show at some point or another, and I'd never had one.
Uh-huh.
It's because we're sharing with others that it feels so good. With the flow of energy in the universe has to move. Sickness keeps our energy flow stuck, and it can't flow through us to be connected to others, and it comes back to us to supply us. So like what you give away comes back 10%. You get, when you give 10%, you get back even more.
Uh-huh.
So you're sharing, you're doing the right things. When you're sharing with others, you're going to feel good because what you give away is what you have.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you're doing. So congratulations. Well, you're doing the right things.
Well, thank you. Hey, why don't you name some of the books and where they can find them? And we've got about 9 minutes, so we got about actually 8 minutes. So if you want to, go ahead and mention your talk show again, your YouTube, what you do on YouTube, and some of these books that people, might want to read.
Okay, well, I would just first of all like to make a quick little quote by Edgar Casey, who is the father of holistic health, and he said, "There are, in truth, no incurable conditions." And what he was talking about is if you move into the fifth dimension of unconditional love, it will heal all medical conditions. So if we move our consciousness into love and live in the now and enjoy it, we will get well. Yeah, my books are, all of them are on Amazon.com. My first book, it's on Amazon too. My first book was Roses Have Thorns, and it chronicles my traumatic journey of why I came into understanding there was a better way. So that you understand where I was coming from. It's kind of the story of my life in poetry form, and I'm an artist, so I do all the artwork too. And I'm also a poet, so my poetry is in my books along with my art. My second book, The Real Meaning of 2012, A New Paradigm for Bringing Heaven to Earth, really explains the ego, which means that we're edging God out or edging love out of our lives, which is, of course, maintaining and giving us health. And so it gives you some ideas and understanding of that process of how we need to reduce the influence of the fear, the darkness, whatever scary boogeyman we have in our closet that we need to turn the light on and get rid of. My next book was, I'm thinking for a minute, Paradigm Busters. Is a 600-page how-to book. To me, that's the ultimate how-to book. If you really wanted to get your life turned around, anybody that's listening, into a healthy way, no matter what your illness or relationship problem is or any difficulty you're having, this is the book for you. It gives you step by step exactly what to do to change your life around. It uses the universal principles of love, and it will bring you into that higher fifth dimension of unconditional love, which we're all moving into and getting healthy if we do. So Paradigm Busters Reveal the Real You is what I call, it's kind of like the Bible for getting well. My last book was Road to Success, and it's a book that shows that our success really comes from the inside, feeling happy, and you mentioned those kind of things. When you were feeling happy and joyful and felt really good, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to feel good. That's feeling God. It's just another word for God. And so instead of looking outside for a better house, a cuter wife, a bigger salary, or some kind of status or whatever, everybody seems to be looking outside for their happiness and success, but it's an inside job. And this book gives you understandings in, the business part of it or other parts of your life of how you can be a success inside. And guess what? When you're a success inside, it manifests around you because we do create our own reality. And then I have some ebooks there that you might be interested in, Spiritual Growth, and one about Love Heals Incest. And then this last book coming out, hopefully within the next week, is the book that we were talking to, Beyond, Finding Reality Beyond Fear, is moving from first stages of recognizing your life isn't going very well, moving into hope and faith, looking at yourself, being honest with yourself, releasing what doesn't work in your life so that you can move into what does work in your life, finding balance in your life and realizing you are the genie inside. You are the gold in the end of the rainbow. There's the pot of gold. Well, you're the gold, but we have not been told that we have self-esteem originally within us, and we have to uncover all the things that covered it up. So Paradigm Busters gives you more details on how to uncover all the difficulties that have covered that good feeling inside. Instead of a pill to feel good, you can feel good naturally.
Oh, that's so much better.
So all my books are have articles. I'm also an international columnist. I write for the Sussex newspaper as their wellness expert. And so every month, if you just type in the Sussex newspaper, you see my newest column. It's monthly.
Uh-huh.
And so I also am starting my radio show. Love Never Fails starts March 6th, and I will be the host, and you can call in with your questions, and it's on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. So you click on your internet, BBM Global Network, and TuneIn Radio, and you can get my show. I'll have the phone number for calling on Facebook under Marilyn Redmond. I have a blog, marilynredmondbooks.blogspot.com. That'll have it on it too, the phone-in number. And I have a lot of YouTubes, 133 YouTubes out if you want to hear my lectures, interviews, and spiritual information that I, as a medium.
Uh-huh.
So, I've had a lot of things out there, and I'm going strong, and I'd love to have everybody call in with their questions. I have a lot of hats I wear, so some of them we covered tonight on this program. In addition, I have some more information on domestic violence, education, empowerment, things that people are interested in, hypnosis, qigong, acupuncture, that kind of thing. So I have a lot of going on, and I'd love to have more listeners and, of course, get a lot of listeners. I had a radio show before, and hopefully they're going to be there this time with the rest of you people joining in, and we'll have one big happy family.
Oh, yeah. I bet you will, too. So, hey, I would do a YouTube about it, promoting your radio show, and I would recommend you doing that. That'll get more people, tuning into you. Hey,
right.
It's been really great, Marilyn, talking to you. Maybe again we can touch base here, and maybe I can even call your show sometime when you get it going. And
that'll be fun.
Everybody check her out. And with that in mind, I'm going to let you go. And you have a great weekend, and better yet, you have a great week, and then you have a great weekend too.
Well, you have a wonderful time. You deserve it. We're here to enjoy and have a great time, and we don't have to worry about the bad situations. Let's look at the good and let that grow, because God is really energy and expansion. So the more we look for the good, the more we'll find it.
Okay, Marilyn. Well, you take care, and like I said, you have a great evening.
You too. Night-night.
A night. Okay. Well, we had an interesting conversation for the last 2 hours with Marilyn. And, check out her YouTube. Check out her books. And please, when she gets her station going, take a listen to it. Boy, this coming next week, we got a lot of great guests coming on. You wouldn't believe it. We got an ex-CIA agent. We got an actor from Hollywood that's going to be on. Just a lot of interesting people. A couple more book authors out there. I'm making a point. I screen the people want to be on my show to make it interesting. And, it's going to be more people also about the paranormal, naturally, and UFOs. I think somebody coming up Thursday, I believe, we're going to be talking again more about UFOs and aliens and things like that. Also, I want to shout out to Kevin Anderson. He's my producer that helps with the board operation. Keeps us up with all our apps up on the internet. Make sure everything gets uploaded for you guys who can listen to the podcast. And I just want to say shout out to him. That's Kevin Anderson. He's